Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2,000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Finnish ebook before it's gone. When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Iltaa.
Iltaa. Miten voin olla avuksi?
Haluaisimme vaimoni kanssa mennä tähän kalaravintolaan. Osaatteko neuvoa, miten löydämme perille?
Osaan toki. Oletteko autolla liikkeellä?
Valitettavasti emme ole. Pääseekö sinne julkisilla kulkuvälineillä?
Pääsee kyllä. Raitiovaunulla pääsette kätevimmin perille.
Hienoa.
Ottakaa raitiovaunu numero 6 hotellin edestä keskustan suuntaan. Jääkää pois ylioppilastalon pysäkillä. Ravintola on punatiilisen rakennuksen vasemmalla puolella. Soitanko teille ravintolaan varauksen?
Se olisi hienoa. Kiitos oikein paljon.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Neuvoa.
To advise.
Löytää.
To find.
Perille.
There.
Päästä.
To get. To reach.
Julkiset kulkuvälineet.
Public transportation.
Raitiovaunu.
Tram.
Pysäkki.
Stop.
Jäädä pois.
To get off.
Vasemmalla puolella.
On the left side.
Varaus.
Reservation.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Iltaa.
Iltaa. Miten voin olla avuksi?
Haluaisimme vaimoni kanssa mennä tähän kalaravintolaan. Osaatteko neuvoa, miten löydämme perille?
Osaan toki. Oletteko autolla liikkeellä?
Valitettavasti emme ole. Pääseekö sinne julkisilla kulkuvälineillä?
Pääsee kyllä. Raitiovaunulla pääsette kätevimmin perille.
Hienoa.
Ottakaa raitiovaunu numero 6 hotellin edestä keskustan suuntaan. Jääkää pois ylioppilastalon pysäkillä. Ravintola on punatiilisen rakennuksen vasemmalla puolella. Soitanko teille ravintolaan varauksen?
Se olisi hienoa. Kiitos oikein paljon.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Päivää. Haluaisimme kirjautua sisään. Meillä pitäisi olla varaus.
Päivää ja tervetuloa. Millä nimellä varaus on tehty?
Se on nimellä Virtanen. Aino ja Heikki Virtanen.
Kyllä vain. Löysin varauksenne. 2 hengen huone 2 yöksi.
Olisiko mahdollista saada huone merinäköalalla?
Hetki. Tarkistan. Kyllä onnistuu. Uloskirjautuminen on yli huomenna kello 12 mennessä. Toivotan teille viihtyisää oleskelua.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Kirjautua.
To check in.
Varaus.
Reservation.
Nimellä.
Under the name.
Huone.
Room.
Merinäköala.
Ocean view. Sea view.
2 hengen huone.
A room for 2 people.
Uloskirjautuminen.
Checkout.
Ylihuomenna.
The day after tomorrow.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Päivää. Haluaisimme kirjautua sisään. Meillä pitäisi olla varaus.
Päivää ja tervetuloa. Millä nimellä varaus on tehty?
Se on nimellä Virtanen. Aino ja Heikki Virtanen.
Kyllä vain. Löysin varauksenne. 2 hengen huone 2 yöksi.
Olisiko mahdollista saada huone merinäköalalla?
Hetki. Tarkistan. Kyllä onnistuu. Uloskirjautuminen on yli huomenna kello 12 mennessä. Toivotan teille viihtyisää oleskelua.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Saisinko lisää sitä herkullista mustikkapiirakkaa? Totta kai. Ole hyvä. Kiitos. Otatko myös lisää vihreää teetä? Ei kiitos, mutta saisinko mustaa kahvia?
Hi guys, and welcome to FinishPot101.com. My name is Meri, and I'm here to teach you some Finnish. Today we'll learn the favorite words chosen by fans. So let's get started.
Äiti. Äiti. Mother.
Äiti. Mother. Minun äitini on ihana. My mother is wonderful. My mom is without a doubt one of the coolest people on earth, and without it being a cliche, she's really been an inspiration to me, like a role model. She has been studying and working her whole life, and she's so diligent. And still today, she's studying and doing her doctorate degree. I'm really, really proud of her.
Ankara. Ankara. Strict.
Ankara. Strict. Opettaja on liian ankara. The teacher is too strict. Now, I don't think I've ever had a teacher who is too strict. I think it's good that your teacher pushes you to the limit. So, yeah. Better to be a little bit strict, right?
Erilainen. Erilainen. Different.
Erilainen. Different. Tämä ympäristö on hyvin erilainen. This environment is very different. I think it's healthy that your environment changes from time to time, and maybe your tasks and your routines of the day are different every now and then. It keeps your mind active, and you don't get stuck on your tracks. So yeah, difference is good for you, right?
Juoksentelisinkohan. Juoksentelisinkohan. I wonder if I should run around aimlessly.
Juoksentelisinkohan. I wonder if I should run around aimlessly. Now, this is a good one, like a funny word. The basic word is juosta, which means to run, and then you add these additions to it, and then you come up with a whole other meaning for the word. Like a kid might ask, juoksentelisinkohan tänään metsässä? It's just 3 words in Finnish, and in English it means, I wonder if I should run around aimlessly in the forest today. That's funny, right?
Kiitos. Kiitos. Thank you.
Kiitos. Thank you. Basic courtesy, you can say kiitos, or if you hear it in a spoken language, you can also say or hear kiitti, which is the same thing. But yeah, you should definitely learn this.
Lohikäärme. Lohikäärme. Dragon.
Lohikäärme. Dragon. Saduissa on usein lohikäärme. There's often a dragon in fairy tales. Now, do you ever wonder who came up with a specific word? I think lohikäärme is one of those words that I would really like to know who invented it and why. Because in Finnish, the word lohikäärme, in the direct translation for it in English is salmon snake. And I don't think a dragon resembles either a salmon or a snake, so I really don't know where that word came from.
Mahtavaa. Mahtavaa. Awesome.
Mahtavaa. Awesome. I think it's mahtavaa that you are learning Finnish, and I think it would be even mahtavampaa or more awesome that you would invent a sentence using any of the words or phrases in this video. So make up a sentence of your own. That's a really fun way to learn. And write it down in the comments below, okay?
Moi. Hei.
Moi. Hey. Moi, or its other version moikka, are used in spoken language, and you can't use them in like an official meeting or something, but if you're already familiar with someone, you can definitely say moi or moikka. That's a casual word. And if you're leaving a room or a space, you can say it twice in a row to say bye-bye, so that's moi moi.
Myötähäpeä. Myötähäpeä. Second-hand embarrassment.
Myötähäpeä. Second-hand embarrassment. Tunsin valtavaa myötähäpeää. I felt tremendous second-hand embarrassment. Now, this is one of those weird words also. Like, you can feel myötähäpeä when, for example, a friend is doing something embarrassing and you feel embarrassed for them, like on their behalf. And that is the correct, maybe like an explanation for myötähäpeä.
Onnellinen. Onnellinen. Happy.
Onnellinen. Happy. Olen niin onnellinen. I'm so happy. One of the places that I feel really, really happy is my family's summer cottage. It's in the middle of the forest. Actually, it's in the middle of nowhere, basically. There's no running water, no electricity, no cell phone reception. There's just this house and a river, a field, some forest, and a sauna, of course. We're in Finland, right? That is one of the places I really, really feel happy in.
Paratiisi. Paratiisi. Paradise.
Paratiisi. Paradise. Tämä on kuin paratiisi. This is like paradise. There is a really popular folk song from the 70s by Rauli Petting Somerjoki, which describes this love story in a country setting, like in the middle of the nature, and that song is called Paratiisi. So maybe that tells something about the Finnish set of mind. You should listen to it, it's a great song.
Rakastaa. Rakastaa. To love.
Rakastaa. To love. Rakastan eläimiä. I love animals. I love my dog. She's weird. She's a Dalmatian, so she doesn't have long hair. So maybe she's a little bit cold here in the Finland from time to time. So she should have a proper fur. But I have a coat for her. And she's a really nice dog. She never runs away even though she's not in a leash. So she's a really good girl.
Uskoa. Uskoa. To believe.
Uskoa. To believe. Uskotko kohtaloon? Do you believe in fate? I have a niece. She's 5 years old, and I told her that I can do magic. And she said to me, en usko sinua, which means I don't believe you. Well, she's a smart girl.
Vuorovesi. Vuorovesi. Tide.
Vuorovesi. Tide. Vuorovesi nousee. The tide is rising. I don't live near the ocean, I just have lakes and rivers around me, so I never actually experienced the tide in a proper way. I should maybe pay more attention to it when I travel next time.
Jäätelötötterö. Jäätelötötterö. Ice cream cone.
Jäätelötötterö. Ice cream cone. Kesän ensimmäinen jäätelötötterö. The first ice cream cone of the summer. I remember when I was a kid, I lived in this small village or town. Every summer we would have this ice cream kiosk that would open up in the beginning of the summer. It's one of my fondest childhood memories that me and my friends would go out to that ice cream shop and we would buy ice cream cones. And it always tasted so much better than buying from the supermarket. I don't know why, but it did. So guys, thank you for watching this video on favorite words chosen by fans. I hope you liked it. Have you already figured out a sentence using any of the words and phrases taught in this video? If you have, please write it in the comments section below. And if you want to learn more, please like this video or subscribe to this channel or visit finishpot101.com to learn more. And now it's time to say thank you and bye bye in Finnish. Kiitos ja moi moi!
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Hei, haluaisin lähettää nämä kirjeet sekä tämän postipaketin.
Ahaa. Haluatteko lähettää kirjeet ykkös- vai kakkosluokassa? Ykkösluokan kirjeet jaetaan nopeammin, kakkosluokan kirjeissä menee hiukan kauemmin.
Kirjeellä ei ole kovin kiire, joten kakkosluokka käy hyvin.
Selvä. Sitten tämä postipaketti. Haluaisitteko lähettää tämän pikapakettina vai tavallisena postipakettina? Pikapaketti on kalliimpi kuin tavallinen postipaketti, mutta myös nopeampi.
Haluaisin lähettää sen tavallisena postipakettina. Kiitos.
Kiitos.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Lähettää.
To send.
Kirje.
Letter.
Postipaketti.
Parcel.
Ykkösluokka.
Priority. First class.
Kakkosluokka.
Economy.
Nopeammin.
Faster.
Kauemmin.
Longer.
Kiire.
Hurry.
Kalliimpi.
More expensive.
Pikapaketti.
Express parcel. Express package.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Hei, haluaisin lähettää nämä kirjeet sekä tämän postipaketin.
Ahaa. Haluatteko lähettää kirjeet ykkös- vai kakkosluokassa? Ykkösluokan kirjeet jaetaan nopeammin, kakkosluokan kirjeissä menee hiukan kauemmin.
Kirjeellä ei ole kovin kiire, joten kakkosluokka käy hyvin.
Selvä. Sitten tämä postipaketti. Haluaisitteko lähettää tämän pikapakettina vai tavallisena postipakettina? Pikapaketti on kalliimpi kuin tavallinen postipaketti, mutta myös nopeampi.
Haluaisin lähettää sen tavallisena postipakettina. Kiitos.
Kiitos.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
You're checking out the hotel's facilities when you see a notice on a door. What does the notice mean? What does the notice mean? The notice reads, "No entry."
Pääsy kielletty.
You search online for the nearest bus service. What bus service does the page show? What bus service does the page show? The web page shows a free bus service.
Ilmainen bussikuljetus.
You're about to enter a small shop, but there's a handwritten note on the door. What does the message on the note mean? What does the message on the note mean? The note reads, "I'll be right back."
Tulen pian takaisin.
There's a national holiday coming up, and you notice that shops have special notices about having different opening hours. From when will the opening hours return to normal? From when will the opening hours return to normal? The notice says that the opening hours will be back to normal on January 7th.
7.1.
Hei, minun nimeni on Paula. Hauska tutustua. Hi, I'm Paula. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Finnish expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Finnish. So let's get started. We'll first see how Finnish people introduce themselves in an informal situation. Hei, minun nimeni on Paula. Hauska tutustua. Hi, I'm Paula. Nice to meet you. Hei, minun nimeni on Paula. Hauska tutustua. Let's go through this. Start by saying, Hei, minun nimeni on. Then say your name. Hei, minun nimeni on Paula. Finally say, Hauska tutustua. Hei, minun nimeni on Paula. Hauska tutustua. And now let's see the same sentence in formal speech. Hyvää päivää. Minun nimeni on Paula Laamanen. Hauska tutustua. Good day, my name is Paula Laamanen. Nice to meet you. Hyvää päivää. Minun nimeni on Paula Laamanen. Hauska tutustua. So what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these together. Hei has been substituted with the formal greeting Hyvää päivää, Finnish for good day. Minun nimeni on Paula has not been changed. In both cases, minun nimeni on means my name is. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name, so I said Paula Laamanen. Here you would say your full name. Finally, hauska tutustua is the same for both. This phrase means nice to meet you. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Finnish is Hei, minun nimeni on Paula. Hauska tutustua. You can make it more formal by saying Hyvää päivää. Minun nimeni on Paula Laamanen. Hauska tutustua. Now it's time for Paula's points. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands and use Hauska tutustua after saying your name. If you're concerned about politeness, even hei is polite enough in the Finnish business world. In fact, if you speak too formally, people will think you sound unnatural. In Finland, simple is best. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Finnish. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to properly thank people. Are you ready? Then let's start. There are several ways to thank someone, but let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Kiitos. Kiitos. Kiitos means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add the word paljon. Kiitos paljon. Kiitos paljon. Paljon means a lot, so kiitos paljon is just like saying thank you very much. It doesn't matter if you're trying to be formal or informal. Kiitos will work in both situations, so don't worry. But how do you reply to thank you in Finnish? It's easy. There are basically 2 ways to do it. The first is ole hyvä. Ole hyvä. Ole hyvä literally means be good, and it's commonly used to reply to thank you, especially when someone thanks you for giving them something. The other way to say you're welcome is the expression ei se mitään. Ei se mitään. Literally, this phrase means nothing or never mind. You use this when you think that there's no need to be thanked, so it's like saying don't mention it. So when someone says kiitos to you, you can simply reply with ole hyvä or ei se mitään. Now it's time for Paula's points. If you're not sure about whether to use kiitos or kiitos paljon, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Kiitos can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. In the last lesson, we learned how to thank people by saying kiitos. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Finland. Ready? Let's get started. The most used informal greeting is hei. Hei. Hei means hi or hello. We use it when we meet people, friends, relatives, and even people we don't know. We used this phrase in lesson 1. Do you remember? Do you also remember what the formal way of greeting people is? Hyvää päivää. Hyvää päivää. Literally, hyvää päivää means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use hyvää päivää only during the daytime, from midday until early evening. During the evening we say hyvää iltaa. Hyvää iltaa. Ilta is Finnish for evening, so hyvää iltaa means good evening. Hyvää päivää and hyvää iltaa are used when we meet someone, but when we leave we don't say these greetings again. Instead, when leaving in a formal situation, Finnish people say näkemiin. Näkemiin. Näkemiin means goodbye. In informal situations, you can just say hei hei. Hei hei. Finally, in Finnish we have an expression meaning see you soon, which can be either formal or informal. Nähdään pian. Nähdään pian. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Finnish. Let's review them all again. When greeting someone in an informal situation, hei. When greeting someone in a formal situation, hyvää päivää or hyvää iltaa. When leaving in a formal situation, näkemiin. When leaving in an informal situation, hei hei. When leaving, no matter whether it's a formal or informal situation, nähdään pian. It's easy, right? Now it's time for Paula's points. In formal situations, Finnish people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. But if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we hug each other. Don't be afraid to do it with your Finnish friends. It's normal. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Finnish. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Finnish, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal way to say it. Puhutko sinä englantia? Puhutko sinä englantia? In Finnish, verbs change depending on the pronoun that is used. This verb, puhua, is conjugated to the second person singular, puhut. Ko is a suffix used to make it a question. It is similar to the English word do here. Puhut refers to sinä, which is the informal way to say you. And I'm sure you recognize englantia as English. Puhutko sinä englantia? To learn how to properly conjugate Finnish verbs like puhua, please look at our Absolute Beginner series on finishpod101.com. There you'll find several detailed grammar lessons. We're now going to make this sentence formal. First, we need to use the formal version of you, which is te. If we change the word for you, we will conjugate puhua differently. It becomes puhutte. Everything else stays the same. Puhutteko te englantia? Puhutteko te englantia? Adding anteeksi, excuse me, makes the sentence even more polite. Anteeksi, puhutteko te englantia? The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Kyllä. Yes. Kyllä. Vähän. A little. Vähän. Ei, en puhu englantia. No, I don't speak English. Ei, en puhu englantia. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to say ei first, then en before the verb puhu, and englantia after it. Notice also that the verb puhu is slightly different than puhutte. Remember, the verb changes depending on the pronoun used. We are now talking about minä, Finnish for I, so I do not speak is minä en puhu. The negative verb is also slightly different than the affirmative one. Now it's time for Paula's points. For those of you who speak languages other than English, this question still works. Just substitute englantia with a different language. Here are some examples. Italia is Italian, Venäjä is Russian, Espanja is Spanish, and Saksa is German. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase anteeksi, puhutteko te englantia? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word anteeksi, which means excuse me in Finnish. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use anteeksi and other words when apologizing in Finnish. We can use anteeksi in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, anteeksi, saisinko kahvin kiitos? Excuse me, could I get a coffee please? We can also use it when asking a question. Anteeksi, missä on tuomiokirkko? Excuse me, where is the dome? Anteeksi is a very flexible word. It can be used in both formal and informal situations. We can use anteeksi when asking a question, trying to get someone's attention, or when apologizing. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a different phrase. That phrase is olen pahoillani. It means I am sorry and can be used both in formal and informal situations. Olen pahoillani. Breaking this down, first we have the Finnish word for to be, olla. When this is conjugated for minä, meaning I, it is olen. You could say minä olen pahoillani, but it's common to leave the pronoun itself out. Finally, we have the adjective pahoillani, meaning sorry. Olen pahoillani. Now it's time for Paula's points. Please remember that in Finland, if you accidentally bump into someone, it's more common to say anteeksi than olen pahoillani.
Nainen kysyy jotakin kaupan myyjältä kirjakaupassa. Minkä kirjan nainen haluaa nähdä? Anteeksi, haluaisin vilkaista kirjaa tuolla hyllyllä.
Minkä kirjan haluaisitte?
Se, mikä kertoo autoista.
Pieni hetki. Tämäkö?
Kyllä, se on juuri se.
Olkaa hyvä.
Minkä kirjan nainen haluaa nähdä? Nainen kysyy jotakin kaupan myyjältä kirjakaupassa. Minkä kirjan nainen haluaa nähdä? Anteeksi, haluaisin vilkaista kirjaa tuolla hyllyllä.
Minkä kirjan haluaisitte?
Se, mikä kertoo autoista.
Pieni hetki. Tämäkö?
Kyllä, se on juuri se.
Olkaa hyvä.
Mies ja nainen käyvät läpi ruokalistaa ravintolassa. Mitä mies aikoo tilata?
Mitä sinä aiot tilata?
Pizza näyttää herkulliselta. Luulen, että otan sitä.
Minä söin pizzaa eilen, joten
Okei, sitten entäpä hampurilainen?
Kuulostaa hyvältä. Otan sen.
Mitä mies aikoo tilata? Mies ja nainen käyvät läpi ruokalistaa ravintolassa. Mitä mies aikoo tilata?
Mitä sinä aiot tilata?
Pizza näyttää herkulliselta. Luulen, että otan sitä.
Minä söin pizzaa eilen, joten
Okei, sitten entäpä hampurilainen?
kuulostaa hyvältä. Otan sen.
Mies soittaa lääkärin vastaanotolle. Mihin aikaan mennessä hänen täytyy olla lääkärin vastaanotolla? Hei, miten voin auttaa teitä?
Mihin aikaan suljette tänään?
Suljemme kello 6, mutta tulkaa ennen kello 17:30.
Ok. Kiitos.
Mihin aikaan mennessä hänen täytyy olla lääkärin vastaanotolla? Mies soittaa lääkärin vastaanotolle. Mihin aikaan mennessä hänen täytyy olla lääkärin vastaanotolla? Hei, miten voin auttaa teitä?
Mihin aikaan suljette tänään?
Suljemme kello 6, mutta tulkaa ennen kello 17:30.
Ok. Kiitos.
Poika lukee päiväkirjastaan. Mikä oli ensimmäinen asia, minkä poika teki tänään?
Sää oli mahtava tänään. Menin tänä iltapäivänä uimaan altaalle ja menin elokuviin illalla. Minä myös opiskelin koko aamun. Tämä päivä ei ollut huono.
Mikä oli ensimmäinen asia, minkä poika teki tänään? Poika lukee päiväkirjastaan. Mikä oli ensimmäinen asia, minkä poika teki tänään?
Sää oli mahtava tänään. Menin tänä iltapäivänä uimaan altaalle ja menin elokuviin illalla. Minä myös opiskelin koko aamun. Tämä päivä ei ollut huono.
Nainen ja mies katsovat valokuvaa. Mitä kuvaa he katsovat? Tämä on valokuva jalkapallojoukkueesta, jossa poikasi on. Eikö olekin? Kuka on sinun poikasi?
Tämä.
Oi, hän on pisin.
Kyllä. Hän on jopa pidempi kuin minä olen.
Mitä kuvaa he katsovat? Nainen ja mies katsovat valokuvaa. Mitä kuvaa he katsovat? Tämä on valokuva jalkapallojoukkueesta, jossa poikasi on. Eikö olekin? Kuka on sinun poikasi?
Tämä.
Oi, hän on pisin.
Kyllä. Hän on jopa pidempi kuin minä olen.
Mies ja nainen puhuvat. Milloin he aikovat mennä elokuviin?
Emmekö menisi katsomaan elokuvaa ensi lauantaina?
Kyllä, mielelläni, mutta minulla on osa-aikatyö aamulla.
Mihin aikaan lopetat osa-aikatyöt?
Lopetan ne kello 2.
Tavataan sitten kahvilassa kello 3 ja mennään elokuviin kello 4.
Okei. Milloin he aikovat mennä elokuviin? Mies ja nainen puhuvat. Milloin he aikovat mennä elokuviin?
Emmekö menisi katsomaan elokuvaa ensi lauantaina?
Kyllä, mielelläni, mutta minulla on osa-aikatyö aamulla.
Mihin aikaan lopetat osa-aikatyöt?
Lopetan ne kello 2.
Tavataan sitten kahvilassa kello 3 ja mennään elokuviin kello 4.
Okei. Mies puhuu kaupan myyjän kanssa. Minkä paidan hän aikoo ostaa?
Kumpi paita on sinun mielestäsi parempi? Valkoinen vaiko sininen?
No, mielestäni sininen on hyvä. Se sopii hyvin harmaan takkisi kanssa.
Luuletko niin? Mutta se ei oikein sovi punaisen solmioni kanssa. Eihän?
Niin, olen samaa mieltä.
Ok. Sitten minä otan valkoisen paidan. En sinistä.
Minkä paidan hän aikoo ostaa? Mies puhuu kaupan myyjän kanssa. Minkä paidan hän aikoo ostaa?
Kumpi paita on sinun mielestäsi parempi? Valkoinen vaiko sininen?
No, mielestäni sininen on hyvä. Se sopii hyvin harmaan takkisi kanssa.
Luuletko niin? Mutta se ei oikein sovi punaisen solmioni kanssa. Eihän?
Niin, olen samaa mieltä.
Ok. Sitten minä otan valkoisen paidan. En sinistä.
Mies on hampurilaisravintolassa. Mitä hän aikoo tilata?
Anteeksi. Saisinko erikoishampurilaisaterian?
Kyllä, ole hyvä ja valitse ranskalaiset perunat tai salaatti.
Salaatti. Kiitos.
Ok, valitkaa juomanne, kiitos.
Coca-Cola. Kiitos.
Mitä hän aikoo tilata? Mies on hampurilaisravintolassa. Mitä hän aikoo tilata?
Anteeksi. Saisinko erikoishampurilaisaterian?
Kyllä, ole hyvä ja valitse ranskalaiset perunat tai salaatti.
Salaatti. Kiitos.
Ok, valitkaa juomanne, kiitos.
Coca-Cola. Kiitos.
Opettaja leipoo kakkua. Mitä opettaja laittoi siihen? Tänään me teemme kakun. Ensimmäiseksi sekoita voi ja sokeri. Sitten lisää 2 munaa ja sekoita ne hyvin. Lisää jauhoja ja sekoita kevyesti. Laita uuniin ja paista 50 minuuttia. Se on siinä. Mitä opettaja laittoi siihen? Opettaja leipoo kakkua. Mitä opettaja laittoi siihen? Tänään me teemme kakun. Ensimmäiseksi sekoita voi ja sokeri. Sitten lisää 2 munaa ja sekoita ne hyvin. Lisää jauhoja ja sekoita kevyesti. Laita uuniin ja paista 50 minuuttia. Se on siinä. Mies ja nainen puhuvat. Mitä he aikovat tehdä ensin?
Mitä haluat tehdä tänään?
Haluan mennä katsomaan elokuvaa.
Okei. Minä haluan katsella pesäpallopeliä televisiosta.
Lisäksi haluan mennä ostoksille.
Pesäpallopeli alkaa kello 13.
Okei, no mennään elokuviin ensin ja sitten voit katsoa pesäpallopeliä.
Hyvä on. Sitten menemme ostoksille illalla.
Mitä he aikovat tehdä ensin? Mies ja nainen puhuvat. Mitä he aikovat tehdä ensin?
Mitä haluat tehdä tänään?
Haluan mennä katsomaan elokuvaa.
Okei. Minä haluan katsella pesäpallopeliä televisiosta.
Lisäksi haluan mennä ostoksille.
Pesäpallopeli alkaa kello 13.
Okei, no mennään elokuviin ensin ja sitten voit katsoa pesäpallopeliä.
Hyvä on. Sitten menemme ostoksille illalla.
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Olen juuri lähdössä lounaalle. Liitytkö seuraani?
Kiitos, liityn mielelläni. Mutta sataako ulkona vielä? Unohdin sateenvarjoni kotiin.
Ai niinkö? Ulkona ei kuitenkaan onneksi sada enää, vaikka taivas on pilvessä.
No, se on hyvä uutinen. Olisipa tänäänkin yhtä hyvä sää kuin eilen, kun aurinko paistoi kirkkaalta taivaalta.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Liittyä.
To join.
Sataa.
To rain.
Sateenvarjo.
Umbrella.
Taivas.
Sky.
Pilvi.
Cloud.
Sää.
Weather.
Aurinko.
Sun.
Paistaa.
To shine.
Kirkas.
Bright.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Olen juuri lähdössä lounaalle. Liitytkö seuraani?
Kiitos. Liityn mielelläni. Mutta sataako ulkona vielä? Unohdin sateenvarjoni kotiin.
Ai niinkö? Ulkona ei kuitenkaan onneksi sada enää, vaikka taivas on pilvessä.
No, se on hyvä uutinen. Olisipa tänäänkin yhtä hyvä sää kuin eilen, kun aurinko paistoi kirkkaalta taivaalta.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
If you want to learn a language but don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the endeavor, you need to study as efficiently as possible. You probably aren't a language learning expert or a world traveler. You might have school or a job or two. So in this video, we'll give you 3 ways to help you learn language more efficiently so that you get the most out of your time and effort. Number 1, use your time when you have it. The most valuable resource you have as a language learner is time. While you may not have to spend money to learn a language, you will have to spend time. Hours and minutes are a currency that you trade on a weekly basis to grow in your language learning. Language learning is probably a priority for you. It might not be the number 1 priority, like keeping your job or taking care of your family, but it does have to be important enough for you to invest significant amounts of time into your learning. There's just no way around it. That being said, use your time wisely. Because of previous commitments, you can quickly fall into the trap of putting your language learning off, thinking, oh, I'll do it next week, or Saturday, I'll do it Saturday. Needless to say, a few weeks can go by and you haven't really learned or practiced anything. If you find that happening, then take some time and reevaluate your approach. It's probably a long shot for you to be able to spend hours every day learning a new foreign language, but you can use your time to spend an hour or even just 10 minutes a day, every day, studying or practicing. If you're on a busy schedule, an hour a day can sound like reaching for the stars, so start slowly with just a 5-minute lesson. Over time, as you learn more and it becomes more routine, you'll want to spend more time studying. And your studying doesn't even need to be all at once. Make use of the little gaps of time you have in the day. Listen to a podcast while driving to and from work. Review new words while on lunch break or right before bed. Even a quick review while in line at the store or waiting for the bus. Together, these moments add up. This way, your little study session will add up to around 60 minutes of practice every day. You'll quickly be able to see significant improvement in your language abilities. Number 2, don't method jump. When you're new to language learning, there's a temptation to try out the newest course, app, or method. There are more language learning tools and courses than I can list. But jumping around from podcast to podcast or from textbook to textbook can really hinder your learning process. It's important to find the best method for you, but when you do, stick with it. Don't get distracted by the newest app, or if you suddenly find something faster, cheaper, claiming it can teach you a language with no work on your part. Stick with your learning course or tool. Consistent practice over a period of time is what is essential for language learning. If you hit a bump or plateau, you might be tempted to think, maybe there's a faster or better way to learn. So you search around and buy the next best language learning tool, only to use it for a couple weeks and realize it wasn't really any better than the last course you tried, and the same difficulties you had are still there. If you're learning your first new language and you pick a specific method or course, we suggest you stick with it for at least 3 to 4 months. You actually hurt yourself in the long run if you constantly switch between resources because you never give yourself the opportunity to progress. Number 3, focus on one thing at a time. When you decide to learn a new language, you're going to be really excited. You have all your resources lined up, a plan in place, and you're ready to go. You think you'll spend 3 to 4 hours a day practicing and that you'll be fluent in no time, but that's only for about 3 days. Then you probably will get a little bit discouraged and avoid it for another 3 days. And this process might repeat 3 or 4 times before you realize that you might be approaching things the wrong way. You can't devour a whole new language in a very short time. You'll burn out immediately. It's better to focus on one small part of the language at a time, either a specific grammar point or a specific vocabulary topic. In the beginning, these should be based on the parts of the language you'll use right away. Even in the business world, research shows that replacing less important tasks with ones that add value and help you reach your goals is the best way to get the most out of your time. As you advance through the language and your level increases, try to pinpoint the harder aspects of the language and work on them one at a time. Learning a foreign language isn't easy. It takes time and work, but it is possible. If you stick to your learning plans and stay focused, you will see improvement in your skills and find satisfaction in using the language. Remember that learning a language is really more like a journey. It doesn't have to feel like school or work. Savor your experience with learning and enjoy every step along the way. And for even more tips on learning efficiently, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description.
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Hei, saavuin juuri Roomasta ja odotin matkalaukkujani, mutta ne eivät saapuneet matkalaukkuhihnalle.
Voi miten harmillista. Kuinka monta laukkua teiltä on hukassa?
2 laukkua. 1 sininen urheilukassi ja 1 musta matkalaukku.
Saisinko nähdä matkalaukkujen lipukkeet, niin yritän selvittää mitä tapahtui.
Toki, kas tässä?
Laukut ovat epähuomiossa jääneet Roomaan. Pahoitteluni. Laukut lähetetään sieltä Suomeen huomenna.
Täytyykö minun tulla hakemaan ne täältä?
Ei toki. Ne toimitetaan kotiosoitteeseenne.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Saapua.
To arrive.
Matkalaukku.
Bag. Suitcase.
Matkalaukkuhihna.
Luggage conveyor belt.
Hukassa.
Missing.
Lipuke.
Label.
Epähuomiossa.
Inadvertently.
Lähettää.
To send.
Hakea.
To pick up.
Toimittaa.
To deliver.
Kotiosoite.
Home address.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Hei, saavuin juuri Roomasta ja odotin matkalaukkujani, mutta ne eivät saapuneet matkalaukkuhihnalle.
Voi miten harmillista. Kuinka monta laukkua teiltä on hukassa?
2 laukkua. 1 sininen urheilukassi ja 1 musta matkalaukku.
Saisinko nähdä matkalaukkujen lipukkeet, niin yritän selvittää mitä tapahtui.
Toki, kas tässä?
Laukut ovat epähuomiossa jääneet Roomaan. Pahoitteluni. Laukut lähetetään sieltä Suomeen huomenna.
Täytyykö minun tulla hakemaan ne täältä?
Ei toki. Ne toimitetaan kotiosoitteeseenne.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Finnish ebook before it's gone.